It is time for Cleared to Play. We're going to take you inside the tent, get you updated on the latest injuries in the Bay. Proud to partner with UCSF Health on this segment. Look, everybody, it's Dr. Brian Feeley. Hey, Doc, what's going on?
Not much. How are you guys?
We are great. Hey, we're looking more at Eagles than Niners right now, which I think is a good thing for Niner fans. It means that the 49ers are largely healthy. What are your thoughts on Dallas Goedert, the Eagles tight end who has not been ruled out of this game? He fractured his forearm week 9. It's only week 13, and they're saying maybe. What do you think?
I think this is similar to Ray's injury earlier this year. I think if you had a relatively small forearm fracture, you've got 2 bones in the forearm. So if one didn't break and the other one has a small crack, and you have surgery to realign it and really put the ends together, it's not out of the realm of possibility that by week 5 or 6, you could play. So they haven't ruled him out. That doesn't mean he'll necessarily play. I would guess that it's more likely that he'll come back the week after against the Cowboys. But if he's feeling good, he's got no pain, and they can brace him, I don't think it's the end of the world for him to play. Now, can he play as well as he normally does? That might be a little bit tougher.
What are the limitations as a tight end in terms of blocking and catching? Is it the force of holding a block, or is it the ability to corral a football when you're out there in a pattern?
I think it's probably mainly the blocking, getting your hand up and then just getting jarred by the defensive linemen or linebackers. And then when you need to fall, you really can't put your arm out. So if he's going to catch a ball and go out and get tackled, he's got to tuck his arm, which isn't the end of the world, but it's not always that easy to control how you fall.
Doc, I always feel like the muscular injuries are the ones that if you push them, there's a high probability or possibility of re-injuring. So what do you think about Lane Johnson, who at the last minute was scratched against Buffalo because of a groin injury? He says he's playing this week, though.
Yeah, we can look back last year. He's had a fair amount of injuries in these muscle strains. It tends to play pretty well when he says he's going to play. He's his own best judge, and I think last week they held him out against the Bills. Turned out they might have played a little bit better if he had played, but they still got the win. And with the Niners and Cowboys coming up, I think he'll be able to play. He might be a little bit limited, similar to how Trent Williams was limited with his ankle sprain when he came back, where some of that lateral movement isn't quite as good. But for sure, he's definitely at risk for tweaking it this week or next week, and then really limiting themselves in a playoff run.
And similarly, Doc, in terms of his ability to go out there and play the position, for Lane Johnson, is it being out in front on a run play, or is it trying to set that leg in pass production or pass protection, rather, that's going to be more limiting?
Honestly, I think it's both. If you think about what your groin muscles do, think about doing like a half squat and holding it for a little bit, which is every single play. Even if you're a little bit sore in your groin, by the end of 60 snaps, that's going to feel really tight. You're not going to feel as explosive. So on pass plays where he's trying to block, I don't think he's going to be quite as quick to get that foot set. And for running plays, I don't think he's going to be quite as fast as that lead blocker. Now, can they game plan around it and run a little bit to the other side? Yeah, it's possible, but it's definitely something, if I'm the Niners defensive coordinator, I'm going to game plan around him and see how he's playing, how he's feeling in that first quarter.
Doc, we're all scratching our head with Andrew Wiggins, and some have suggested that the hip injury from last year could still be playing a part, yet there's this report today that the Warriors were annoyed that he came in out of shape, which suggests they think he's healthy. But is that even a reasonable thought right now to be talking about an injury from the playoffs last year still dogging him now?
It's possible. I think he went through a lot last year. He missed a lot of games. He had some injuries. He had some family and emotional stuff going on. So I think if he's not feeling 100% and not in shape yet, it makes sense that he's not playing his best. I think we undercall how great physical condition these guys are. And to play at their level, even missing 5%, you're going to see that in the box score. You're going to see that in those fouls where your feet aren't moving quite enough. So if he came in even a few pounds heavier, a little bit slower, and just not quite ready to play, it may take him a little bit more time to get ready and to feel really good this season.
Doc, you mentioned a few pounds heavy. I'm about 7 pounds up from Thanksgiving, and I'm working through a little bit of a calf strain. Any advice for your ever burgeoning belly here from your co-host Dan Dibley?
More golf with Kurt is always good. Make sure you walk instead of take the cart. But really, it's eat less and exercise more. I think the biggest thing people worry about is if exercise is going to make their joints break down or make their muscles get injured. And the more data we see, the more being active and athletic, even into our middle and later years, like you, is totally safe. And the downside of rest and protecting things too much is that you end up feeling worse.
Huh. Doc, there was a phrase in there. No, there was a phrase in there that I didn't understand.
Personal.
Well, no, I didn't understand it. I've never heard it before. Explain to me. Eat less.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Well, you figure you can eat less after Thanksgiving. And the week after Thanksgiving, when the leftovers are gone, it's always a good time to reset just to prepare for Christmas.
You'd figure.
You had me at golf with Kurt, Doc. So thank you.
Doc, yes. And how shocked are you that no one got hurt at Knockout today?
Pretty surprised, man.
Yeah. Tell you what, I was looking over my shoulder on the way out the door like, dude, we just stole something.
Totally.
This is crazy. Doc, thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, there he goes. The proceeding was sponsored by UCSF Health.